Loaded Fathom Zennit BB. The decks are pretty close. The Zennit might be a touch longer and maybe even feel a little bit longer because it doesn't have as steep of upturns as far back on the deck. They both have brackets. This has these adjustable GBombs, and this has the new Z brackets between Loaded and GBomb, and they both have Dad Bods. And I set them up this way to kind of compare mostly the bracket, but I also liked comparing the deck. I did really like this deck. I like more of a square deck. The shape decks, I had a GBomb and I also have the Zennit BB Plus, and I feel like they're a little more flexible than I like. So this was my favorite deck until I got this one, and I think I actually like this deck more. This is a great deck. It's very cool. But I kind of like this one more for me for a couple of reasons. I like the concave is very, very minimal, a touch less than that, and I feel like for long distance I like almost no concave. And also, these upturns, even though they look kind of weird, they don't bother me. I have a very narrow stance. If you had a wider stance, those might get annoying. But also, because I have such a narrow stance, I really like decks, you know, on a double drop. I kind of like that, and I even a micro drop on some flat boards I like, because I like a reference point without looking down, and I feel like those work very well for that. I don't know that they matter so much for the clearance. I guess they help the wheel clearance, but it has a lot of wheel clearance as is. But anyway, for the flatness, for the reference points, and for my narrow stance, it being a small deck, I like this deck. It's a pretty cool setup. I don't know that I'll keep those Paris trucks, and at some point I'll probably try it with 85mm wheels instead of these giant guys. But all in all, I like it. I'm glad I like this deck.